Well, let's go with Mr. Larson-East here. We are on the record of the matter of the state of Michigan. First, Michael Larson-East II, 25597. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Your Honor, John Goldthorpe, P 30758, on behalf of Mr. Larson-East. Mr. Larson-East, would you please put your name on the record?
Michael Larson-East.
Okay, and detective, your name for the record, please.
I'm Detective Sergeant Bruce Herrick, Herrick, with the Riverview Police Department.
Okay, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, you may proceed on the warrant, detective.
April 28th. April 28th.
I'm so sorry, detective. Mr. Larson, you can have a seat. It's going to be a long one.
On April 28th, 2025, at approximately 5:56 a.m., RIPD units were dispatched to the area of Grange and James Road in the city of Riverview for a suspicious person wearing a mask in the area. Officer Alderman made contact with the caller. The caller said that he was taking his morning walk on southbound Grange Road and saw a person kneeling in the grass. He said the individual had a bunch of property on the ground and he appeared to be tampering with the rear gate of a property at 17891 or 17861 Brentwood Drive. The caller yelled at the individual, who then fled on foot northbound in the grass on the west side of Grange Road. The caller lost sight of him in the area of Grange Road and James Boulevard, but described the subject as wearing a blue hoodie, blue jeans, and a white mask. Officers checked the area and located a mountain bike in the bushes near 17861 Brentwood Road. They also found a Toro lawnmower a few hundred feet north from there, pushed into the wood line. Officers would later determine that that lawnmower belonged to the resident at 17861 Brentwood Drive, the fence, the area the caller had seen the subject tampering with earlier. At 6:40 a.m., a second caller called and said that he found a purse hanging from his fence. He checked it and saw that it belonged to his neighbor, who would be victim number 1 from 15712 Meadows Drive in Riverview. Officers contacted victim number 1, who said she was missing several bank cards out of her purse. At 7:53 a.m., victim number 1 called Riverview Police and said that she was alerted. Her cards are being used at Kroger in Southgate. While officers were on the way to Kroger, victim number 1 called back and said that she, along with her husband, had drove to Kroger and located the suspect, who they described as a white male wearing blue jeans, a black and red jacket, exiting Kroger with 2 full shopping carts of merchandise. Victim number 1's husband then confronted the subject in the parking lot, who abandoned his carts and fled north through the parking lot on foot. As victim number 1 was following the suspect, he was retrieving objects from his pockets and throwing them. Victim number 1 lost sight of the suspect and then went back to retrieve the object he was throwing, finding them to be the bank cards that she was missing, along with several other bank cards belonging to a second victim. Officers were in the area looking for the suspect when Chief Allen of Riverview Police saw a white male wearing blue jeans and a blue sweater quickly walking east from the location on Quarry Road, north of Pennsylvania Road, in the city of Wyandotte. Chief Allen saw the male cross over 23rd Street and then proceed to go into a residential property, where he then jumped the backyard fence into Wyandotte Memorial Park. Officers from surrounding agencies were able to catch up with the suspect, who was then apprehended and identified as Michael Larson-East, the defendant in this case. Larson-East matched the original caller's description and partially matched the description victim number 1 gave, the only difference being the jacket color. Larson-East was placed under arrest for suspicion of larceny and transported to RIPD. Among his possessions in Larson-East's pockets was a small screwdriver, flashlight, $10.47 in loose change. He also had $201 cash, a new pack of menthol cigarettes, and 3 lottery tickets. As part of this investigation, I was able to determine the owner of the other bank cards victim number 1 had found in the parking lot to be victim number 2, resides at 18659 Hilltop Lane in the city of Riverview, which is a short distance away from victim number 1 in the same subdivision. Victim number 2 was missing his entire wallet from his vehicle that had been parked unlocked in his driveway. His wallet contained several bank cards, including the ones that were found in the Kroger parking lot. Victim number 2 checked his card activity and found that a $100 charge happened at Marathon gas station on Pennsylvania Road in Southgate, and an attempted $400 charge at Kroger in Southgate that was declined. I was able to get video of both these locations, Marathon and Kroger. Marathon video shows a white male matching larcenies description, wearing blue jeans, black and red jacket, and a blue Detroit Lions hoodie underneath. His hood is pulled up and he's wearing a white N95 style face mask. He also has on distinct tan hiking shoes. The male in the video goes to the lottery ticket machine and purchases several lottery tickets, which he then scratches and presents to the teller. $150 in cash winnings is given to the male. He uses $20 to purchase an additional single lottery ticket from behind the counter. The male then scratches the ticket, presents it to the teller, who then gives him additional $100 in winnings, for a total of $230 in cash after the $20 purchase. The male then purchased a pack of menthol cigarettes and a Red Bull and left the store. This total is consistent with the amount of money larcenies was found with, which was $201 cash. Kroger video shows the same white male with the same clothing at a self-checkout at 7:15 a.m. The male goes into several different pockets, as well as what appears to be a black purse and fanny pack, retrieving many different bank cards and attempts to use them. Several are clearly identifiable as belonging to both victims, which he eventually dropped in the parking lot while fleeing. The male leaves Kroger with 2 shopping carts of merchandise on video and confirms victim 1 confronts him in the parking lot, where he then flees, corroborating victim 1's statement earlier. Larcenies' Merrill brand hiking shoes, blue Detroit Lions jacket, blue jeans, all match surveillance video footage from Marathon and Kroger. And his possession at the time of his arrest, including the small screwdriver, flashlight, large amount of loose change, $201 cash, new pack of menthol cigarettes, 3 lottery tickets, support Larcenies being responsible for these crimes. Larcenies has an extensive criminal history dating back to 1989, including felony convictions for receiving and concealing stolen property, possession of a financial transaction device, identity theft, illegal sale use of transaction device, and his most recent felony conviction in 2024 for felony controlled substance possession. He also has many other misdemeanor convictions that include larceny, B&E vehicle, and retail fraud. Larcenies also has several warrants for his arrest with different downriver communities. And as a final note, I will just say that Detective Haskin from Riverview PD is working on a case involving 3 victims that occurred on 3/16/2025 in the same subdivision area of Riverview, case number 25-2812. During the investigation for this case, Larcenies was identified through video as being responsible for Lowe's larcenies as well. Detective Haskin will be sending his investigation for that case to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for review shortly.
Thank you. Upon examination and complaining, there's probable cause to believe defendant committed those offenses. Counsel?
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon, Your Honor. John Goldfall, P 30758, on behalf of Mr. Larcenies. Mr. Larcenies, would you please put your name on the record?
Michael Larcenies.
Okay, well, counsel, as to the arraignment.
As to the arraignment, Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to discuss this matter with Mr. Larcenies. He would stand mute to urge waive formal reading of the information and ask that a plea of not guilty be entered. I did go over those charges with him.
All right. The court will waive the formal reading. Sir, you do have the right to have an attorney. If you cannot afford one, you can have one appointed to represent you. And you've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Goldpaw today, correct?
Yes, sir, ma'am.
All right. And as soon as we get that document back from Riverview PD regarding court-appointed attorney appointed attorney for felony matters, the court will sign that. You also have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. You also have the right to remain silent. Anything else you may say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
The court's entering a plea of not guilty on your behalf, scheduling this matter for probable cause conference on May 8th at 9:45 a.m. And counsel, I'll give you an opportunity to argue bond.
Yes, sir. I'm just writing this down. Your Honor, I also want to note that on the information that I saw, there's also an habitual second.
Yes, there is, and additional seconds for identity theft, something or other.
Yeah,
Lots of
that
them.
increases the penalty from the identity theft, but also there is a half second.
Correct,
Yeah.
there is, there's multiple, yes.
Oh, yes, thank you. Your Honor, he does have an extensive criminal record. He is not on probation or parole at this time, from what he's told me. I'm just indicating that the last case was resolved back in '24. He's self-employed. He no longer lives in Wyandotte. He lives with his sister, who is in E-course. The address is 4522.
Don't put that all on the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. And it may be on the petition. I just want to bring that to the court's attention. There is the habitual. At this point in time, we've asked for a bond that's commensurate with the situation. Also giving him the opportunity to be able to defend this particular matter. I'm not going to stand here and say, please give him a personal bond, which he asked me to give him, but something that is commensurate with the charges. I do understand he does have an extensive criminal record, and I've observed that some time ago, and that there are outstanding warrants.
Okay, so Mr. Larsenis, how long have you been residing with your sister in E-course?
About a year and a half, no, about 3 years. I'd say.
I'm sorry.
Year and a half.
Sir, I
My,
think that you were residing in Wyandotte at your last court date that you had here.
I'm sorry?
Weren't you just here last year?
No, ma'am.
23. Oh, 23, sorry. Okay, so have you changed your address with the Secretary of State?
No, I haven't. I was just waiting for my license to expire, honestly. Because it's just coming up this year in August. And having to make the appointments and all that, and transportation issues. But I have given that information to every legal matter I've associated myself with.
Well, sir, I have to tell you, I think you have the thickest file today. You have cases that go back to 1989
Correct.
that are dealing with theft, sir. 1989, we're on almost 40 years. Almost 40 years, sir, of criminal history regarding theft.
Okay. I've
Don't say anything regarding this case.
If you were to test right now, sir, what is in your system?
I would just like a personal bond, Your Honor, so I could try to pursue my legal matter of owning a lawn service while I'm trying to make money legally.
I can 100% guarantee that you are not getting a personal bond.
Well, could you get it as low as possible, please?
My question to you, sir, was if you were to test today, what is in your system?
Nothing.
He has been incarcerated. He's been in jail approximately 3 days, sir.
Okay.
Just want to bring that to your attention.
Well, so this is the third day, because if all this occurred on the 28th.
28th, yes, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Approximately.
And what happened with your matter from 23 from this court, sir? You were bound over to circuit court?
I don't recall. My time served.
Oh, okay, well, you weren't on probation?
I was, and I completed it in the time served. It's closed, case is closed.
Well, October in Trenton. Well, wait a minute here. In October of 23, you you pled guilty to felony. Actually, it's August 1st of 24 is when your probation was set to start. Felony identity theft out of the 33rd District Court. Felony financial transaction device illegal sale or use. And that was 18 months probation.
It's all been closed, Your Honor. It's all been closed.
That's been closed already?
Yes, ma'am. I've completed it and closed it. I'm on no probation.
Early discharge, right?
I don't know, it's been 9 months. When did you get, when was your probation concluded, sir?
February of this year, I believe.
6 months. Wow. Interesting. And then now, you're suspected in another matter that's under investigation, and now you have these 16 counts. What, is that funny, sir?
I'm not guilty of these 16 counts. I'm sorry, but
Well, sir, tell me about your probation from Third Circuit Court for felony possession of narcotics, where you were sentenced to 3 years probation. How is that already closed?
it's all been closed, Your Honor.
Has it been closed because you violated probation and they revoked it and you said you spent time served?
Yes, ma'am.
There we go. There we go.
It's all closed.
Okay, well, you led the court to believe that it was closed because you successfully completed it. But clearly, you violated probation and then it was revoked, and then you were sentenced to incarceration for that. So, sir, that's not, you're being a little bit disingenuous with the fact that you're saying it's closed and completed. It's not completed. You didn't complete it. I'm sure it shows revoked probation, not probation closed without improvement. And you have a number of warrants for your arrest, sir. Why is that?
I don't know about the warrants.
Detective, do you know where the warrants are? Hold on, maybe I have them right here. I can tell you, I'll tell you right now, sir. Let's see, 23rd District Court from April of 24. You failed to appear for an arraignment pretrial.
What's the charge?
Possession.
Okay.
Then in 2023, you did not appear for your possession of heroin in the 25th District Court. Then April of 24, oh, this was the second one for this, so.
Misdemeanors.
Whether they're misdemeanors or not, sir, you still didn't show up to court. So
I
whether you
understand.
think it's a misdemeanor.
I'm taking self-notes, Your Honor. I'm not.
Excuse
to the
me,
court.
keep your mouth shut.
Then we have in the 24th District Court, January of this year, you failed to appear for court on your possession of drug paraphernalia. Then April, oh, just last week, you were supposed to have been in 23rd District Court.
For what?
Arraignment pretrial.
For what?
Oh, the warrant was issued last week, but you're supposed to have been there April 9th. I'm not sure, it doesn't show what it was for, sir.
Your Honor, it says obstructing police, I believe, for that one.
Oh, that's a,
Oh, there it is, obstruct police, yes, okay. So, sir, I have to tell you, the board has some serious concerns for the safety of the public, as well as your ability to return to court. Detective, would you like to address bond?
Your Honor, I think just because of the harm he's caused to the city of Riverview's residents in this case, and not only likely the case in March, his extensive criminal history, obviously a history of not showing up to court. I would ask for a $25,000 cash bond, as well as, if he is able to make that bond, electronic monitoring through the tether system in Wayne County.
Mr. Larsenis, you seem to be making a lot of noise while the detective is speaking. I'm not sure if that's sighing or chuckling or what that may be, sir. In addition to your criminal history, the court has 34 entries of cases in this court going back to 2006. Possession of paraphernalia, loitering, larcenies, possession, driving while license suspended, interfering, reckless driving. Okay, so here's what the court's going to do. The court, after hearing from counsel, hearing from Mr. Larsenis, hearing from Detective Herrick, reviewing the criminal history, the extensive criminal history, the number of times that Mr. Larsenis has failed to appear in court, failed to complete probation, and given the court's concern with the safety of the public, this court is going to order a $250,000 cash bond. You're not to have any contact with any of the complaining witnesses in this matter. That's Elizabeth Ashley, Matthew Ashley, Alan Owens, Austin Robinson. That's phone contact, text message, email, social media, third party, anything of the like. You are not to return the premises to the homes on Meadows Street or Hilltop Lane. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. You're not to have access to firearms and or any weapons. And you, in the event you post bond, you are not to be released without GPS tether, house arrest through the Wayne County Jail.
Your Honor, would the court at least consider the amount I'm not quibbling with, but would the court at least consider a surety?
No.
With that cash?
The court will not consider a surety because Mr. Larsenis has shown that he is unable to appear in court, as well as the fact that he has 4 aliases as well.
Just
and now we are
asking.
here at 16 counts of charges that are similar in nature to ones he was just convicted of last year, as well as littered throughout his criminal history. And what is that, Mr. Larsenis?
Thank you, Your Honor.
What is that, sir?
I'm not guilty of none of this.
Well, now you'll have to.
You guys are calling me guilty and I'm not even guilty.
No, sir. No, sir. I've heard.
It sounds like you are. You're
I'm
coming at me as
sorry.
if I've done this. I have not done this.
Sir, I have heard evidence that has been put forward that supports probable cause to believe that crimes were committed and you have committed those offenses. Based upon that, the court
Picked out of a crowd walking through a field.
with the
No,
arraignment.
no, they looked at my record and said, yes, this is him.
And
Be
the court
quiet.
also taking into account your criminal history and your.
I've already played, I've already did my time for them. Why is that used against me again? That's illegal.
Sir, that's not illegal. That is a factor.
Yes, it is.
That is a factor that this court is required to take into consideration when determining bond. And in this case, your criminal history is so significant with the same types of charges that you're currently charged with, that this court has concern for the safety of the community. So that is the order of the court. You'll be back on May 8th at 9:45 a.m.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.